Hey, it was yesterday when you said that the two things they think you want to see from your team was fight and togetherness. Did you see any of that tonight?
Well, I felt like I really believe that at the beginning of the game, I felt like they set the tone and we didn't. And I say that because we cut it to 8, we couldn't make a shot, and then they just started pounding us on the glass. And to me, that's unacceptable. I didn't feel like we competed the way that we had to compete against a great offensive rebounding team like them. And we felt like if we could rebound against them, that we could get in transition, an area that we've been getting better at. So that was a little bit disappointing. And, I think that with the combination of, I felt like the togetherness was there today, Percy. Felt like the guys stayed together. They didn't fracture. I thought Quade did a really good job of being a leader, where he's been a little lackadaisical in the past. He really was encouraging the guys in timeouts and what we've got to do. Now, he's got to have some support. We got to be able to make some shots, right? But I felt the togetherness was there. I felt like the fight, they set the tone. We didn't.
Was there a particular reason why you went back to the starting lineup? Been there for 5 of the first 6 games.
You know what? I felt like I wanted to get back to a bigger lineup to where we could. I thought it would be our best defensive alignment. That's the bottom line. I felt like we've been struggle scoring, and I just felt like our size with Jamal Bay up top, rather than 2 small guards, gave us the best chance to be good defensively. And they started off the game, they were 4-3, and personally, we defend the 3-point line, so that was discouraging. And then we got killed on the glass. And
then just as last thing, just how do you diversify, get more from everyone that's?
I can't hear. You're kind of getting a back. There's like a.
Yep.
Hang on 1 second, Bruce. There's like an echo.
Yep. How do you diversify the offense and get more from people that aren't Quade?
Well, I felt like Hamir got 10 great shots. I felt like at the beginning of the game, Eric Stevenson got great shots. We've got to be able to knock them down. I mean, the bottom line is and that will relieve. I think Quade, at the end will force a couple shots because he's just trying to will our team. And, other guys, they've got to be able to step up and knock them down. They've been working hard. They got to have courage and they got to have confidence. They make them in practice, so we know they can make them in a game. And so I would say out of the 31 threes, I would say 20 of them were good looks. Where, guys can sit and make them, and we make them in practice. Got to make shots.
Yep. All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Lauren. Go ahead, Lauren.
Hey, Hop. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You've talked about wanting to get out and transition more often. Did you see any of that tonight? Do you want to see more of that?
Well, you got to get stopped. And not to the level that we have to be successful. And we got to fight more. We've got to rebound better. And the beginning of the game, they shot 47% from the field and 44 from the 3. Not acceptable. Those aren't our winning numbers. If we defend like we have in moments, and we've rebounded like we have in moments, we'll be able to get in transition. And that's where our offense is going to be best suited, because defenses aren't going to be set.
And you said that, you thought that 20 of those threes were good looks. Do you want to be shooting as many threes as you guys did tonight?
Well, you know what? Sometimes it's how the defense is playing. And, I thought we went to the basket as much as we've had in the past. I mean, Hamir got there, Jamal got there. We just couldn't finish. I think in a game like this, if you get 31 threes, you got to be able to make 10 to 12, and you make 10 to 12, it becomes a what? I believe in our shooters. I believe in Hamir Wright. I think he can shoot the ball. He does it in practice. It hasn't translated. Shot 40% in the Pac-12 last year from 3. Eric Stevenson is a good shooter. Raekwon Battle's a good shooter. We just got to be able to knock our open ones down.
All right, thank you.
Reynolds, you go ahead, Kim Reynolds.
Hey, Kim.
No, Kim.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. It just didn't take my hand down, Lauren. Sorry.
All right, Dan Rayleigh, go ahead, Dan.
Mike, what do you hear about Saturday's game? Is there a chance it might not come off?
We're getting. We don't know, but we're planning to play it. We're preparing like we're playing it, and excited for the opportunity to come back and play. But don't know.
All right, James Price, go ahead, James.
Hey, Coach. It seemed like Arizona had a good deal of success penetrating the zone defense, kind of getting to the rim and open up the floor for their shooters. What do you think was the takeaway for you guys defensively?
Well, I think at the end of the day, they did a good job. It wasn't like it's funny because they only hit 6 threes, but it was the beginning of the game where it hurt you because it kind of sets the tone to how you're going to play, and that forces you to space out. Baker's a great shooter, and we didn't do our job. We didn't do a good enough job, taking them away, which was one of the game plans. We messed in a little triangle and 2 to try to confuse them, and then they just went down in the post. And I felt like our interior defense was not good tonight. When you look at the fouls, it was 16, 15, but they went to the foul line 15 more times. And that's offensive rebounding and then fouling on second shots. And so that's an area that we have to be able to clean up for sure. But, they have a deep front line, and they kept coming after us. And we felt them tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Chris Fetters, go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Hop, it just when we look at the defensive numbers now, these are, we're starting to see some numbers that we usually don't see from the zone. And you talked about not being able to set the tone of the game early, and they kind of dictated that. Is that kind of a longer range issue in terms of an overall problem with the zone not setting the kind of tone that you need it to create the transition and the other things you talked about?
Well, we obviously got to get better at it. And there's some things that we need to do better at. I mean, I felt like we forced them to miss. We just couldn't rebound, and so, we've got to do a better job on that. And then, it goes back to doing your job, right? When we have a game plan, you got to take that out. You can't let them shoot. You got to force the other guys to shoot. And we allowed 3 of those early. We're just defensive breakdowns. And, like anything that you do in life, you just got to go back to the drawing board. You got to learn from it. You got to get better at it. That's just what we've been doing. And it obviously didn't translate tonight, so which is disappointing for everybody, especially the players. But we get another opportunity in a couple days and another day of practice. And, we're blessed in a lot of ways.
Quaddy also said that one of the signs of improvement a little bit in terms of the zone was getting to the dead spots a little bit better. Are there some other things just in the overall management of the game, both sides of the floor, that you can point to where the 11 days off, you could tell that maybe it wasn't tonight where it was going to happen, but you can see it happening maybe in the next game or 2?
Yeah, I just felt like our bigs tonight were sucking a little wind. They got some early foul trouble. It's the consistency of being good down there. Nate's had some really good moments. Riley's had some really good moments down there. And we need them to be big. And tonight they got in some foul trouble. Arizona did a good job. They got really good. The international kids were a really good passer. But for the most part, we've got to be better in the interior. When you extend on the perimeter to take away some of the shooters, you've got to be able to be good and consistent in the inside, and then you got to finish with rebounding. I felt like we had solved the rebounding issue, but it came back and hit us tonight for sure.